So I wanted to try and explain why we want limited government, why we don't want to give government power to make certain decision. The only type of government that is compatible with freedom and free people is a government that does not have a lot of power. So this was the idea of the American founders who kind of tried to present this concept to us that we seem to have misunderstood. This is how it works. So this pie chart right here, that's all of us, right? Out of this group of people, you have people with power, which is the politicians. So we'll use P. You have people with money, but no power other than money, and we'll call them M. And then it's everybody else. So everybody, most of us fall in this area. So we neither have, we don't have a lot of power and we don't have a lot of money. And the only way you can be in a free society is if you have most people like this. So for this particular group of people, they're unfortunately the people who seek power tend to go there. Okay, and a lot of times it is these people that kind of migrate over here, and these people migrate over here. So when the politicians, when they have their little fundraisers and they have their listening to lobbyists or whatever, it is always these people who have their ear. So politicians and people with money are always intimately connected. Money buys access to politicians. This is why you're not hanging out with Donald Trump. This is why you don't have his ears. This is why you cannot share your problems with him directly. But you know who can share problems with them directly? Or Biden now. People with money. Big companies with money. So this is why. So let's say you put your people there. So there's this big election and everybody's, the country is divided and you wanna you want your people to win, and you were successful, so we put a check mark. And now your people are in power, quote unquote. I'm gonna put quote unquote your people are in power. Guess who has their ears? Again, people with money. They are the ones with power. Okay, so even though you help put these people in there, the people who have money, the lobbyists, and the money and the lobbyists, they're the ones who have their ear again. So it doesn't matter how many times you win the election. That doesn't matter. As long as people who want power are placed in power, and people who have money have their ear, and are the only ones able to communicate with them effectively, and have favorable policy created. This is why. So the only way to fix this is to prevent, let's see, go back to the original. Prevent these people from having a lot of power. Because if you prevent these people from having a lot of power, these people cannot buy the power that is not for sale. So the only way you can ensure freedom is through limited government. Because there is no power to be sold, and the power that can be bought is not significant enough to affect the lives of the rest of us, and that's what it is. So the government should only have power to defend us and have a certain reasonable power to control things like theft and murder and those types of behavior. But who you're going to marry and who you're going to what you're going to do with your own body, number one, they should not provide services. For behaviors that are questionable, for example, abortion. But at the same time, they can't stop a woman from reaching into her own uterus and ripping out the life from it, because that is also not a government function. Even though I disagree with that act, it's murder, it's nasty. But government should not have the power to intervene there. However, the government should not stop me from saying that person is a murderer and not to interact with them. And same goes with any other cultural value, especially now we have culture wars. So we have culture wars. So they are pushing these behaviors on us that we may that we find objectionable, that we may not agree with, and they're using government power to do that, to pressure us into accepting these things, such as, and a lot of times it's just power of the purse. They're using their money to do this, and a lot of this stuff is, again, started by these people, Hollywood executives, people who have money, pedophiles, things like that. If you have money, if you're Harry Weinstein, you got money, you have access to these people. You have access. End of story. You have access to these people, even if you're Harry Weinstein. This is why you cannot allow these people product to sell that these people can buy, which is power. This is why limited government is the only form of government that is compatible with freedom.